Take it away, buddy.
I guess I'm the buddy here.
Yeah.
All right, then. Hello, and welcome to another Dark Mushroom Media Cast. My name is Tim. With me is the lovely Palmer.
Hey.
And the equally adorable Jose.
Is adorable and lovely the same.
I figure equally... yeah, kind of. You're more adorable, and he's more... I forgot what I even called him. Just way to fuck things up right from the get-go, Jose.
You've called me a number
That's what I
things.
do.
Right there. I can't even get the first sentence out.
That's why I'm here.
All right. We do a talk show about gaming stuff.
Yeah.
We talk about news and discussions and controversy and all sorts of stupid shit. So let's get right into it. Last night at like 2 in the morning, came across Reddit was the Titanfall DLC. And when I say Titanfall DLC, I mean every piece of content released for that game, which is the entirety of the season pass, was suddenly free on Xbox One and 360, and then later today on PC. This was a sort of a celebratory thing because the game just hit its 1-year anniversary, and as much as I love the game, it hasn't had much of a player base in recent fucking past half year or so. But I'm very happy with this because I feel like this will bring back a lot of the player base, and I'll be able to play on the DLC maps I picked up fucking forever ago, and I just think it's a very cool thing, and I'm very happy that Respawn decided to do this. Gentlemen, thoughts?
Yeah, it's gnarly. I mean, I thought that game was awesome for maybe 20 hours, and then immediately started regretting that purchase.
A lot of people felt that way about the
At some board meeting, they would have done this a while ago. You know, kind of like Palmer said, the player base had been dwindling almost right away. You know,
Yeah.
you think they do something besides release more DLC, something more drastic? And
They did. I mean, they did add different game modes as time went on, and eventually added the co-op mode for free.
it added that co-op mode when I got into it, and that was like
they added
really
it.
late
They added it about
to the party.
6 months down the line, something like that.
Yeah.
So that was. I feel like if they launched with that, the game would have. I mean, the game was well received, but I feel like if they launched with that, it would have maintained a lot of its player base a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean,
That's true.
it's a gnarly game, don't get me wrong. I don't know. I expected it to be something that grabbed my attention a little more than... I expected it to be like a resurgence of like Call of Duty, pretty much. Like the next shooter that I put hours and hours and hours of time into. But as far as them releasing DLC, I mean, for free, dude, that's pretty cool. I mean, I guess it had to be one of those things, you know, where like they've definitely already made their money off of this game, and B, like it must have just gotten to the point where that wasn't selling anymore, and they were just like, you know, this will put us in the good graces of everybody, and it's a good way to go out with a bang, I guess. It'll spur up the player base again for, you know, another couple of weeks, maybe a couple months.
Well, Titanfall's always had a steady player base. It's just been very small, at least on the PC. On the consoles, apparently, it's just dead. But PC, it's always like I've never had trouble finding a game. I usually pop on it. I'm good for once a month or so.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think a lot of people expected that to have a much longer life expectancy. But
And also, like Tim said before, it'll unify what players are left playing the game. Because I've never touched any of the DLC stuff because I don't have it, and because I play with Tim, he doesn't get to play the DLC maps. So, like he mentioned earlier, now he can play all those sweet maps that he bought.
That's another nice thing about the playlist they have. Like if you queue for attrition, which is the most popular mode, if it works out that everyone who's queuing has the DLC, it'll just automatically cycle in DLC maps, which I really like. It's kind of a rare thing, but now that most of the player base is going to have all the maps, you'll see those in rotation more so. You won't have to strictly queue for DLC playlists, which I like.
yeah, it'll make me jump back on. I'm interested in checking out the new maps, and just, I don't know, it's been a while since I played it, so.
A lot of people's views on Titanfall was that, yeah, it was fun for a week or two, and it kind of dwindled off. But for me, last year it was definitely one of my more favored multiplayer shooters that came out. I liked it more so than, you know, Call of Duty or Halo, even because Halo was just broken. But I don't know. I don't want to say the game's underrated because it did, like I said, it did come out and was met with great acclaim. But I really like Titanfall, and I really hope they fix up the issues that kind of made the game not really, its life expectancy kind of short for the first game with the second one. which is they're already rumored to be working on apparently. So
Yeah, I mean they've got to be though, right? Like that's really the only.
yeah, that's their mainstay right now, and it's Respawn Entertainment. You have to keep in mind consists mostly of the dudes that worked on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1, which in my opinion was one of the best multiplayer centric shooters in the past decade, without question.
Yeah. What do you total aside here, real quick? What do you think of the mission? 90,000 signatures now for that Modern
100,000
Warfare 2.
actually when I
Is
saw
it?
it. Yeah.
Holy crap! Holy crap!
I mean that's cool, but like Modern Warfare 2 doesn't look that bad, honestly. Like it still looks halfway decent.
It does in still shots. If you go back and play, because like I actually had that same thought. Like all these articles have been coming out talking about how this has gotten all these signatures on the petition for the remake, and I keep seeing these like single shots, it's like still shots of the game, and I'm like, holy shit, that game actually still looks pretty fucking good. And then I watched some YouTube footage of it. No, that game does not look good.
Well, YouTube footage isn't like
no. In 1080p, dude. Like that game does not look good, like at all.
In comparison to shit that's come out recently, but I mean, as overall, like graphics aren't that important to me, and it came out 5-6 years ago. It still holds up in my opinion, and I do like the fact that Modern Warfare 2 is set in pretty much all of our hometown, like DC, like huge part of that campaign. You're running around like Georgetown and fucking DC and all that shit, so that was cool. I just personally thought
War-torn Georgetown.
War-torn Georgetown.
Yeah.
But personally, I thought Modern Warfare, like I'd love to see a Modern Warfare 1 remake, which honestly, like that's basically printing money, so it would be kind of stupid if they didn't do that.
Yeah, dude. I don't see. Honestly, with something like this circling around and getting this much attention, especially like in the media, if I were Activision, I would just be like, you know what, guys, we're making it. Like, here you go. You've spoken. We'll make it. Buy it when it comes out.
It's free money. They get goodwill towards the fans because that's something they want. Like,
sell it for a reasonable price. Like port it over to the new engine that they've got. Sell it for a reasonable price. Make it $20. People will eat it up.
That's not going to happen. They're not even going to release all the maps. You know that shit. It's going to be like a season pass. But I'm saying
if they wanted to do it right, that's the way they should do it.
Yeah,
because people would eat it up. People would eat it up, and it would go so far towards like the goodwill of the people that are buying their games. Like,
you're living in a fantasy world, sir.
I know. It's never gonna happen. They're gonna release it at $60, and they're gonna make all the DLC fucking DLC again. That's good. And like that's exactly what's gonna fucking happen. I know that.
The free DLC for the PC players, they're gonna have to pay for it again.
Do you guys remember when Call of Duty, I think like 1 and 2 were released on the arcade, like on Xbox Live Arcade? Did anyone really care about that? Like enough to like
like the originals. Yeah.
They weren't really up-resed or anything though. They were just basically ports.
No, I bought the original one though. I bought the original one. No, it wasn't up-resed at all. It was just ports.
Oh,
it was just the Call of Duty.
No, that's not true. Things looked a little sharper. Things looked a little sharper, but not much. Like it looked pretty much exactly like the PC version did. Yeah, dude, I bought that. I enjoyed that. It was fun to run through that stupid fucking game again. But man, like, yeah, I didn't rebuy Call of Duty 2 because I still had like that on Xbox 360, like the disc for it. To be completely honest, I still bust that out and play that every once in a while. Call of Duty 2 is still the best one in my opinion, but I don't know. That was the first time I played anything like that. But yeah, we totally got sidetracked here. Back to Titanfall. It'll be awesome. I'll jump back up on that. Play it. We should actually stream that at one point for one night. Just play that for an hour or two.
Yeah, we could.
Totally.
All right. Aside from all the Titanfall hypeness, let's move on to new releases. Quick one we're all pretty familiar with, or a series we're familiar with, is Hotline Miami. The second game just released today.
I can't fucking wait to get my hands on that. Like, I watched some Let's Plays of that today. Oh man, I'm so excited.
I liked the first game, but after like 2 hours, it just kind of, I don't know, I feel like it ran its course for me. I feel like it's something that would be good on like a Vita or like some type of tablet or something.
Yeah, yes.
I don't see it as something you play on like a desktop. It just doesn't hold my attention that far.
That's where I played the first one on Vita, and I'm waiting for the second one to come out on Vita. Like that is the like a perfect Vita game. Like it's great. Like you can just play it for 10 minutes at a time and fucking call it quits and that's the only way I would have gotten through that game. If I was gonna buy it on PC, I would never have sat through that entire game and beaten it. Like, there's just no way I would have played Dota or something. But on the go, that was perfect, and I'm really, really excited for the new one. It looks like more of the same, but honestly, like, why change it? Like,
It was fun
no
gameplay.
need.
The soundtrack was fucking awesome. Like, I mean,
the
graphically
soundtrack-
it looked shitty, but I mean, it was fun. So
Yeah, I was listening to the OST for the second one earlier today. It's gnarly. You know, Perturbator has a track on there.
yeah, they had a track on the first one too.
Did they? Oh, see, I didn't know that. But yeah, it's one of the best OSTs I've heard in, like, probably since. Man, I don't even know. I'm putting myself on the spot and I can't think of anything.
Bastion.
Yeah, maybe. I feel like I've heard some stuff that's like at least on Bastion's level since then. But yeah, you're thinking along the same lines.
That released. And a big thing that came out was City Skylines, which is being hailed as like the game shitty, Jesus. Actually works.
Freudian slip
Sim
there.
City should have been.
Freudian slip there, buddy.
It's interesting because it's people are loving it and saying, "Oh, this is what SimCity should have been." But there was a Cities game that came out a couple months ago, which was a remake of another one called XL, and I think the remake was called XXL, and it was supposed to be like an up-res, more features kind of newer version of the same game, and it was like the exact same game. The community shit on it, like they fucking just were not having that shit. And then 2 months later, City Skylines comes out, and people are like, "This is Mecca. This is glorious. This is enlightenment."
Well,
So I found that kind of amusing.
from what I've seen, it looks to be very impressive. Like some
Yeah,
of
I mean,
the stuff that
it
you can
looks
do
great.
in that game is utterly outstanding. I really haven't done. That's another thing that like I'll probably have to catch like a few Twitch streamers playing. Is that because I'm really interested in seeing if that's really on par with like SimCity 2000 or something like that, where it was really 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 in depth and gotten just absolutely crazy. Because yeah, that could be a lot of fun. It could be a lot of
That
fun.
game is like way too micro for me to be interested in too much. I prefer a game like Civ, where it's like, here's your city, here's things within it that you can affect. I don't like that I have to build, power lines and water lines and all that. That's what I didn't like about the new SimCity. Just SimCity was
Like every
really
have you played any games of
just
that
a
ilk?
few,
that
just
were-
a few of those from just the same SimCity games like from before. No, I'd never really cared for the series, and it doesn't surprise me that people love this Skyline one, because if they just heard all the feedback and fixed on the shit that critics hated, of course they'd make a great game that people loved. It's just that SimCity didn't have that initial feedback to make SimCity, new SimCity, to have all the good stuff that people wanted. But
One
then
of-
again, I think it was mainly online shit, right?
Yeah, one of the
And-
top reviews,
yeah.
Steam reviews for Skylines is was able to launch game on launch day, 10 out of 10. That got a smile out of me.
Yeah, man. Some clever reviews out there on Steam.
Especially with the new funny review system. But yeah, Skyline expansion or Skyline game came out, met with great reviews. What else is in? Oh, some mod news. Kind of piqued my interest lately. A couple weeks ago, Blizzard released the Warcraft 3 assets for StarCraft 2 for like the modding and whatnot. And people were like, "Oh, cool! Maybe down the line we'll get like maybe some type of Warcraft 3 remake." And 2 weeks later, it's pretty much here, and it goes by the name Warcraft. What is it? Armies of Azeroth Alliance. Armies of Azeroth Alliance. I feel like it just needs the Azeroth or the Alliance.
Yeah.
But doesn't really look that much better than Warcraft 3. But obviously, like a lot of the terrain and some of the textures just look a lot more cleaner and prettier.
Yeah, it definitely looks sharper, significantly sharper.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. It's a lot sharper. Looks much prettier.
Yeah.
But I really like that. That's already a thing. I'm really looking... Like, there are a lot of StarCraft 2 mods I play on a regular basis, like that dumb tower game, Palmer, which I can't fucking remember the name of. But I'm really looking forward to
Jose,
seeing
you
Warcraft
gotta get in on it.
assets. Yeah, you got to get on that, Jose. But I'm really happy that the Warcraft assets are going to be making their way into the mods I've kind of come to play over the past couple years, and see how they fit into that, because I'm sure that'll be a thing.
Yeah, I'm
Has anyone made
super
a
duper
mod
excited.
for the first two Warcraft games? That's what I'd play.
You got to be that hipster. It can't be Warcraft 3. It's got to be Warcraft 1 or bust.
Exactly.
Or
Not even the Battle.net edition. Battle Chest works anymore. Fucking bullshit. What? It doesn't. That's the only Warcraft game I'm interested in playing. Fuck World of Warcraft. Fuck Warcraft 3.
I love that you know that.
I can understand like fuck World of Warcraft, but Warcraft 2 and 3 were like the bee's knees.
Yeah, man. Warcraft 3 is what got
3
me.
sucks. 1 and 2 are fucking best Korea.
Why
I'm
is
good.
3,
with
why
best
does
3
3
on 2,
suck?
but 3 is great, man.
Yeah, why is 3 suck?
How much
I want to
fucking
know.
micro for you? Is that it?
Is that what it is?
Can't handle the
It
swag.
became 3D. They added heroes, and
What's wrong
no
with
one in my
you?
dorm socialized because they were busy playing Warcraft 3.
What's
So
the-
really, you
okay,
just
so
hated the
it's
game for
good.
spite because your stupid friends just ignored you while Warcraft 3 were out.
That was the worst.
Dude, that game.
I did like that. Warcraft 2 had the naval battles that Warcraft 3 didn't have. I thought that was kind of
that's
dumb.
true.
Kept it on the
That's
bridge.
true.
Exactly.
That's true. Those fucking what was the name of the giant orc ships in Warcraft 2? You remember?
Juggernauts?
Juggernauts? Was it
Yeah,
Juggernauts?
Yeah.
Dude, those things were ludicrous, man. I would just mash
Those cannon sounds, man.
Yeah,
like you'd be
man.
at your base and you're like on the coast and you just hear those sounds and you just shit your pants.
Yeah,
Just a massive
man.
Griffin army. Best sound effects.
Ah!
But yeah, I don't know. I loved Warcraft 3. That was like, I guess, yeah, because I didn't play Counter-Strike until afterwards. Yeah, Warcraft 3 was like one of the first games that I played where I got totally 100% sucked into the multiplayer. So I mean, that game's always gonna have a special place in my heart. And I'm really looking forward to playing it in StarCraft 2. I don't even give a fuck that it still looks like shit. Like, I want to play it. Like, I can't wait. Like, you know, it would be really awesome if they went so far as to add ranked matchmaking with the Warcraft 3 assets. Dude, I would be all over.
I don't see that happening.
I know
You're
it'll never happen. It's
Never
totally a
happen.
pipe dream, but I don't even
It's
give
an
a fuck.
idiotic thought. Ethan. It's a bad idea and you should feel bad.
Dude, like, no, dude, I'd be on StarCraft 2 all the time, except I wouldn't be playing. It'd be Warcraftception.
For me, the ironic thing is I probably played more mods on Warcraft 3 than I did anything in the base game. So it's kind of funny that I'm going to be playing a mod of Warcraft 3 on StarCraft 2. It's got a whole Inception thing going on. It's fantastic. I love it.
Yeah, it's great.
It's delicious.
Man. Yeah, that me and Alex Marine used to play ranked in Warcraft 3 all the time. It was kind of dumb. That's pretty much exactly what we did as soon as we got home from school, and what we continued to do all the way through the fucking summer. It was fantastic. I can't tell you how excited I am for this. It's gonna be totally awesome.
It'd be really fucking fantastic if someone remade Dota, like the
The
Dota
original
one, with the
with the Warcraft
the
assets.
mods StarCraft 2. That'd be
Oh,
fucking
God.
fantastic.
And it was sponsored by Ice Rock. They called it Dota 3. and then the next TI was just hosted using that. That would be amazing.
Instead of the grand production, it's just a guy in a dark room with like a fold-out steel chair.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
And the tournaments would still have to say StarCraft 2 tournament because
God.
it's running on StarCraft 2.
God, we'd have StarCraft
Think
2
about
pro
that.
players trying to play Dota in StarCraft 2.
I don't even know how we got here, man.
I don't know either. It's just a weird fucking circle, dude. Yeah, that looks really great though.
That is out. Also, a fucking Halo mod just released. It's like 0.1, so it's very early on, but it's called I don't know what it's called. Fuck. Something about it. Insurrection.
Eridonis Insurrection.
Yes, there it is. Yes. Basically, it's a Halo mod, but it's pre-Covenant Wars. So no aliens, only humans, and like human pirates are, and all sorts of stupid shit. But I'm really looking forward to it because it looks really well done. Like they have ODST models, and you can be a drop shop trooper, and you have the helmet with the HUD from ODST, the Halo game.
Oh man, look at those pelicans! Holy shit!
Yeah, you can fly around in Pelicans. It's all very, very alpha right now, but it has the potential to be something really fucking cool, and
Jose, have
I'm
you
more
seen
excited
this?
for this than I am for Halo Guardians. That's where I am with my Halo nowadays. I'm more excited about a dumb fucking mod in Arma 3 than an actual fucking release from that series.
How long do you give it until Microsoft fucking slaps him with a cease and desist?
I don't necessarily know that they will. I mean, it can be good.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know. That's a whole thing. It could be good for them, but they're Microsoft, so why would they do anything that benefits them in any sort of way?
They'll either do that or get 100% behind it. But they can't. They can't. They would have to. They would have to get in bed with like the guys who make Arma, and that will never happen.
Yeah.
Oh, God, dude, that looks incredible. Holy shit.
It looks really fucking cool. Yeah, I actually installed Arma 3 last night in preparation to install this. There's also like someone's already putting together a mission for it, like on the Steam community, where like you drop in a drop pod and fucking like storm a base. Looks really fucking cool. But I'm looking forward to this, boys.
So this is based on a civil war between the United Nations Space Command and the insurrectionists. So it's all going to be human on human. So there's no Covenant at all.
Right. The humans were like constantly fucking infighting until the fucking Covenant showed up, and then it was like, oh, we should probably deal with this shit instead of killing each other. But yeah, like pre-Covenant wars, fucking space is all like piracy and fucking shenanigans, and it's almost like Shadowrun-esque. I don't know. It's interesting time that isn't
in the Arma 3 subreddit. There are people already posting like snippets of code to add to the like INT files to give like the Pelicans weapons, add random cooler shit to the mod.
This is the reason that I bought Arma though. It was never to actually play fucking Arma, but because I knew that down the road there was going to be a fucking sweet mod. Oh, man.
I just figured that at this point, or we got it like last summer. I figured at that point that DayZ would come out on Arma 3 before like the actual DayZ game came out. But now this has my interest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
The one thing that I hope they don't make it super complex. Like I hope they don't try. Like I hope they try to adapt the Halo gameplay as much as possible.
Oh no, it's gonna be Arma. You gotta get on that.
That's gonna be Arma ass Arma.
Yeah,
shit.
You're gonna have to.
I guess I'm finally gonna learn how to fucking play Arma.
8 buttons to crouch. Fucking going prone requires like fucking little.
Yeah, dude.
But yeah, it's something we can get used to. I think it's not that thing.
I associate Arma with that game that like makes you press combinations of W, A, S, and D to run. Have you ever played that stupid Flash game? Like you have to press them in the right order to be able to run.
Oh,
you're like in a marathon.
Flop or something.
Yeah, something like that. That shit was so stupid. But yeah, that's pretty much what I associate Arma with. It's just way too complex. It's over my head. But yeah, so I don't know, that barrier of entry might. I will say because it's Halo, I will give it a much bigger chance than I ever gave the base game of Arma.
Which is fun in its own right, but yeah, it's something. It's like Dota. It's something you got to invest fucking
a lot
dozens of hours in order to get like a basic feel for it.
A lot of time.
So say it just shakes his head.
Oh jeez, Louise, look at these fucking rocket launchers. Holy crap, boys, I'm in. Dude, these weapon models look so good.
Yeah, Arma 3 is a very fucking pretty game. You need a really good rig to run that shit at Ultra. I don't think any of us can actually run that fucking game at Ultra, but
I can't. I have to turn down the the view distance, but
yeah, I have to do that, and I have to turn off a couple things. But it's a pretty fucking game, and it has a lot of room for modding, like all the Arma games have, which is why Arma games have had lots, like DayZ, fucking there was a good Star Wars mod. Like they're really good for that type of shit.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, this is gonna be great.
All right, so let's move on to a few quick snippets of news before I let Palmer rant about the new Hearthstone expansion.
Oh God, it's happening. It's happening.
Let's see. Total War, developers of the Total War series, today released like a 15-year, like, here's what we've done in 15 years type of video where it showed all the games, how they progressed, and you know, it's kind of cool to see the Total War series from like the first game up to the Attila, which just released, and how it visually got better and just more units on the field and it got more and more massive. But at the very end of the trailer, there's like a dragon, orc, fuck you, creature, monster roar, which everyone is like, oh my god, that's fucking Warhammer. So that's the first like thing that the company has put out saying like, here, it's coming, here it is. So I'm very fucking stoked because the Total War series is one of my favorite PC games, and Warhammer.
And you have a huge hard-on for Warhammer.
Huge hammer. Or huge hammer. Huge,
you got a huge
hammer for fucking Warhammer in 40K, so like I'm very fucking stoked for it. Just all the erections.
Yeah.
And Another quick thing, Star Citizen, which is a game a lot of people kind of have their ear to the ground on, or at least trying to pay attention to. It came out today that the client is expected to be around 100 gigabytes in size, which is that's pretty fucking ludicrous. But I mean, it's kind of to be expected because that game looks fucking massive in scope.
Have they come close to announcing a release date?
No, they're still way out. Like they're just finishing.
Say what the client's gonna be?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
How can they even say what how big the client's gonna be then?
Well, I mean, the game, I'm pretty sure the core elements of the game are there. They're just working out like dog fighting, shit like that, and they got to do the fuck, words escape me. They still got a ways to go, but that's what they're looking at. I think they said right now they're at like 30 to 40 gigabytes, but by the time it's going to be in launch state, it'll be around 100. Yeah, when patches will be optimized about 100 megabytes. Yeah, so.
Can I just say that game's going to come out and it's going to be the biggest letdown?
At this point, yeah, it's almost got the Half-Life 3 thing going.
It's got Duke Nukem written all over it, man. Like that game is just gonna.
Duke, I mean, it's Duke Nukem. This is a bit more in fucking depth than Duke Nukem. That's almost an insult to fucking this game.
No, it's not. Duke Nukem was like praised, man, and then that.
No, I'm talking about like fucking intellectually.
Well, yeah, I'm not talking on an intellectual level. I'm talking in terms of like it's gonna be a flop. Like it's gonna come out and it's not gonna be anything anybody.
You know why it's not gonna be a flop? Because those like 20 billion people that supported it, like, will shed a tear and still say it's the best game ever. Like, bite their cheeks, bite their tongue.
Crash on the road.
It'll just be like one of those Native American, like just tears. The camera pans in on 20 million people that supported.
Too many
the game.
people are like literal investors in the game to say that game was shit and
I'm usually pretty cynical, but I'm like, no, this game's gonna be decent, or at least like 6 months down the road or something will pop up, like some fucking microtransaction shit or just some bullshit, and I'll be like, okay, yeah, this game's gonna be awful. But as of right now, it's something I'm keen on. I look forward to getting into the alpha at some point, somehow, somewhere over the rainbow.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm perfectly willing to give it a chance. I'm just expecting the worst.
Which is it's pretty much a smart thing to do nowadays in gaming.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Can't really fault you there. Speaking of just the downfall of gaming, State of Decay, which was actually a fun game, came out summer 2013, is getting re-released this year. It's basically just all the DLC packaged in one thing. They're up-resing it a little bit, making it a little bit prettier. But while they were in the process of up-resing it, they found out that some of the contractors they hired to work on just the background of the game just added, and I quote, a ridiculous amount of genitalia into the background.
That's amazing.
That's the only word to describe it. It's just so fucking great.
Oh man!
Because the game got like down res for like Xbox, and even the PC wasn't that high resolution, so you just couldn't really see it. But now that they're upping the res, like, and trying to make it look as pretty as possible, all of a sudden there's just cock everywhere, and they're just like, what the fuck? That's got to be an awkward meeting to have as a company.
You know. I'm gonna rip the fucking title of Cock Simulator away from Outlast. just throwing it straight over to State of Decay. I don't know, man. I think that's awesome. I hope they don't get rid of it. I hope they just keep it in there. Fuck the ESRB.
That'd be pretty ballsy. I would applaud them for doing that.
Yeah, so would I. Just a round of fucking applause.
You
guys have been paying attention to chat, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I already mentioned Uncharted, so yeah, Palmer, I'm going to let you just rant on about Hearthstone for a while.
Wait, we mentioned Uncharted.
Did we mention Uncharted?
We did not mention Uncharted.
We didn't mention Uncharted? Alright, well, Uncharted got delayed until the spring of 2016.
Don't even give a fuck.
A lot of people saw this coming, so it's not really...
Naughty Dog knows what they're doing. I trust them implicitly, like the utmost faith in that developer.
That's generally what the stance of the community is. It's just, well, it's fucking Naughty Dog. They can do no wrong, so whatever.
Yeah. Until the day that they make a bad game.
Wasn't there some controversy though, where like I don't remember if it was Uncharted 2 or 3 that the game looked nowhere near as good as it was supposed to from like their E3 presentation? I remember that years ago.
Yeah, for 3.
Was it 3?
Yeah, they released a couple videos during E3. That was kind of shiesty, but that game still looked amazing for a PS3 product, and it was a pretty goddamn good game. So I mean, I think a lot of people let that get forgiven. It wasn't like Watch Dogs where the game sucked and it didn't look nearly as good as it was supposed to. So yeah, I mean, other than that, that's really their only misstep. I guess they made a couple like shitty Crash Bandicoot games, but the Crash Team Racing was awesome and Crash 1 was awesome. So they're
Fuck that,
great
at
in my
least.
book.
Another thing, PS4 wise, I thought was cool that I don't think it's out now, but they're releasing an update that will basically allow remapping of buttons on the controller. Something I think should have been in console gaming for at least the past decade. I'm really happy at least Sony's like, fuck it, let's just release this as an update.
Yeah, they totally should. I mean, Sony's already got drivers for PC that that allows remapping. So I mean, I'm sure when they were playing around with that and trying to get the PlayStation 4 controller to be like a PC controller, it probably occurred to them, why the fuck don't we do this in console? That's awesome. I'm with you, Tim. I really wish they would have been doing that years and years ago.
It just seems like something that shouldn't be that hard to fucking do or think of doing. It just seems like something that you should just, hey, let's do this right from the get-go, but whatever.
Yeah. But still, that's gnarly, man.
Yeah, my hat's off to Sony for that.
Yeah. But back to Uncharted real quick. I am like unbelievably excited for that game. Can I just make that clear? Like, it is kind of ludicrous. I love that game so much, and the one thing that I will say is this: it looks like they're going for a much darker tone with the new one. I really hope that they don't go too down the rabbit hole. I think The Last of Us set a really, really dark and bleak tone, and that should be kind of their, well, let's get sad and morose genre, whereas Uncharted is supposed to be lighthearted and funny. I mean, even during the worst parts of those games, like, it's still got, like, comedic value. You're still laughing. You're never, like... You always know that the good thing's gonna happen, like, whereas in The Last of Us, you didn't know if, like, the fucking, like, main characters were gonna die or whatever, but... So, yeah, I hope they don't get too dark in terms of the tone with that, but I'm really looking forward to that game.
One of the best type of viral-ish videos I saw in recent years was this guy making a point that the Uncharted series, I think this was up to the third one, so the Uncharted series was basically Firefly, and he was just drawing parallels between characters of the two, and they were like exactly dead on. I'm sure some stuff was taken out of context, but I thought that was fucking hilarious. But as a last generation Xbox fanboy, even I will say, like, the Uncharted series was something I was always like, I kind of want to get a PlayStation 3 so I can play through this. Especially working at GameStop, I was able to fuck around with them a little bit, and they're just, they seem like really fun, solid action adventure type of games.
Oh yeah, they're all great. They're all great. They're like it plays like a summer blockbuster. It's a summer blockbuster in a 10-hour action game. Like, that's really what it is.
Like, I remember years ago, when you were playing through it, you told me that your mother, like, just sat there and watched you play it for hours on end because she thought it was like a movie.
Yeah. That was Uncharted 2. My mom, I was living with my mom at the time, and she hates video games, like, can't stand them. She, like, bought me one console when I was a kid, and actually, no, that's not true. She bought me a couple consoles when I was a kid, but, like, after that, she, like, refused to do anything with gaming. She just she hated the idea of it. And for her to, like, sit down, and I mean sit down through the entirety of the game. Every time I turned that game on, if she was in the house and she saw me playing it, she would sit down, and, like, it became an experience with both her and I.
Yeah, that's what I remember you telling me. It was just so weird and surreal to hear. That.
Yeah, she would make bowls of popcorn and fucking sit down with a bowl of popcorn, dude, and watch me play this game. And yeah, dude, like, I don't know, like, the second one especially was like I just said, it was like a summer blockbuster in a video game. It was incredible. I don't know, did you play this, Jose, or no?
Mm-mm. No, but now that I found out that company was the one that made Crash Bandicoot, I'm all in.
No, you're in. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, dude, they made Crash Bandicoot, and then they went on to make The Last of Us. Look at those guys.
Good for them.
that company is fucking awesome, man. Naughty Dog is like one of the best. In fact, like if I remember correctly, I read some tidbit of news that like I think like the president of Naughty Dog, or no, it was the president of Santa Monica, talked to the president of Naughty Dog, and both of them had to fly out there to get Sony's Japan studios back on track for The Last Guardian. They had to go over there and teach them how to make a game in a good amount of time. I remember reading that and just laughing my ass off. Oh man, how the tables have turned.
That thing I mentioned about Uncharted and Firefly, and like how they were kind of one and the same. This thing it's actually an old "Hey Ash, what are you playing?" video. I can't believe.
Oh,
remember
man.
that thing? Yeah. But yeah, I'll send that to you after. But
do they still make those?
yeah, that's a whole fucking thing. I think they're still doing them. It's just very few and far between these days because there's apparently some shit going on with Anthony Birch, and Ashley's out like doing voice work here and there. So I don't really know what the state of that is. I haven't checked in on it in a while.
Didn't he recently leave?
The board.
What's that?
Gearbox.
Yeah.
Borderlands, yeah, he's doing
Gearbox.
some web series or something, Rocket something. I don't know.
Yeah. I thought he was
But,
doing something with Netflix also, but maybe.
I don't know. He kind of became a social justice warrior, and I stopped paying attention to him personally. But
What?
it's just me.
Ignorant. You're ignorant.
Of course, I'm ignorant. I'm the ignorant one, of course. All right, well, we're getting close to the end, so I'm gonna let Palmer fucking take us home by fucking ranting on about a stupid card game for the next 20 minutes.
Oh God! All right, everybody, let's take some time to talk about the Hearthstone expansion and how absolutely fucking excited I am about this. First off, it is another. They're adding another adventure mode. I can't fucking wait. I loved all the shit they did with Nax. I loved being able to play through those. I loved the insane bosses. I loved the different wings, and the fact that it gave you all the cards as you progressed. Like, as long as you could defeat the bosses, you got the cards. So, like, you were paying for each wing, yeah, but, like, you were guaranteed to get, like, a certain set of cards. And they were good cards, dude. Like, people still use them. Kel'Thuzad is still fucking broken.
They nerfed Undertaker. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit.
Shut the fuck up. Undertaker needed to get nerfed, dude.
Bullshit.
Get out of here, you stupid goddamn
One
Hunter
halfway decent
Warlock
card,
player.
and they fucking... Yeah, everything I fucking build, they nerf because they're faggots.
Yeah.
Pay to win,
Whoa.
faggots.
Oh, God.
Anyway, continue.
But yeah, it's fucking... I can't wait. I can't wait to jump into some Blackrock depths. Anyways, so they, aside from it being wings, they've taken some time and released a couple new cards since all this happened. I am a Shaman player, have been for quite some time. And let's take a moment to talk about one card in particular. This card is called Lava Shock. It's a rare. It's a 2-mana card. It's gonna be totally fucking great because it's deal 2 damage, and then unlock all your overloaded mana crystals. Yeah, you're paying to unlock overloaded crystals, but I play a fucking overload deck, and the possibilities that this card presents is unbelievable. I just, oh God, anybody.
I've never heard of a Shaman player not playing Overload cards, so I don't see how that's not beneficial for a Shaman player to have in his deck, honestly.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, but I'm saying people who play control overloads, are just gonna like lose their shit. All of a sudden, shamans became better than priests. Anytime you can play this fucking card, like here's the one thing. It's really not viable until late game, but the one deck that I play consistently is an overload deck. It's control. It's based entirely off 2 creatures. I'm sure people can guess what those creatures are. And it's all about just devastating the other opponent's board until those creatures are strong enough to fucking, wreck face. Throw down a Wind Fury and it's over, like GG. So my decks this deck tends to go into late game. So there will never be a situation where I can't make use of this card. I get the feeling that's gonna get nerfed. I think it's situational, but it's gonna get nerfed. It's
And you also have to keep in mind they've only unveiled like a handful of.
I think
supposed to be like
they've
30 or
unveiled
so.
like 8 or 9 cards so far. I don't know.
Yeah, there's still a lot of shit to come. I'm sure. So I'm sure there'll be stupid OP like priest cards, maybe a dumb hunter card that they'll fucking it's. I don't know. I think it's cool that they give you all the cards in one go, even though you are kind of paying for an advantage, and that's the only fucking problem I have with that game, even though it's a little casual. But it's a fun fucking game. Like, I mean, Hearthstone's fun. There's no way around it. But I just don't like all the fucking microtransaction bullshit. But I do like that they are releasing this wing. It's single. I like that it's single player, even though I'll probably only get a few hours of fucking play out of it. I like that it's single player, and I like that you just get the cards right off the bat. So, or you have to earn them, but you don't.
Yeah, but it's not impossible. You don't have to pay a shitload of money to get one specific card. You know what you're
Right.
going to get.
Right.
Let's also take some time to point out this combination. Now, I'm not the only one who's realized this. There have been plenty of other people on the Hearthstone subreddit that think that this combination is kind of dumb. It's 2 new cards. One's called Grim Patron. Whenever this minion survives damage, it's a 3/3 for 5 mana. Whenever this minion survives damage, summon another Grim Patron. Then there's another card called Axe Flinger. It's 4 mana for a 2/5. Whenever this minion takes damage, deal 2 damage to the enemy hero. There's a lot of potential with that because you can definitely get it to the point where you're summoning a bunch of Grim Patrons and dealing a bunch of damage in warrior decks.
Is it a? I'm sorry. Was it a warrior card or is it just a neutral card?
One is a warrior card. The Axe Flinger is a warrior card, and the Grim Patron is a neutral card.
The Grim Patron, that would be a fucking excellent pre-stat card, just because you could beef it up to shit and let it take dumb amounts of damage and keep healing it back up and keep summoning new ones. So yeah, that has the potential to fucking Shrek bitches, I suppose.
Yeah. Let's see what else has been announced. I thought there were a couple others. Like, hang on this. Oh, they're there. Patron. Oh, Dark Iron Skulker. I haven't seen this one yet. All right, so this is a 5 mana for a 4/3 battle cry. Deal 2 damage to all undamaged enemy minions. I don't know how I feel about that. I would have to think about combinations for that one. Hungry Dragon. It's 4 mana for a 5/6 battle cry. Summon 1 cost minion from your opponent, or for your opponent. That doesn't really sound worth it. I don't know. Can't wait for them to reveal the rest of the cards. Lord knows there's going to be... These cards look a little bit less situated around RNG, which I am a fan of. I'm not really a big fan of the fact, or the amount of RNG they've injected into this fucking game.
Love the RNG. That's all I
Yeah.
play anymore is a Warlock, and I just roll them bones, sir, and hope for the
Yeah.
best.
You and I have talked about this. The other bit of totally fucking awesome news that came out of all this stuff is the fact that the iPhone and Android phones will be able to play Hearthstone in coming months.
Apparently, you can play on Android. Like if
there's like workarounds though.
Yeah.
You have to like download some extra programs to be able
Yeah.
to run it. But this is like actually a sponsored version. That's you won't need any workarounds for. So this is really fucking great. It's single-handedly managed to get me to want to sell my iPad because I really have no use for it anymore. My iPad is literally just for playing Hearthstone and browsing the internet. And I have a computer. As long as I can play Hearthstone on my iPhone, I just don't need it. So, I'm really excited about this. I'm also really excited about the fact that this game really doesn't take up much data, so I will be able to play this game on the go whenever the fuck I feel like it. I am going to be playing this game a lot more than I already do, which is saying something.
sickening. It's just fucking sickening, sir.
Yeah, this just went from a toilet game. By that meaning, game that I play on the toilet.
I'm pretty sure people got that, Palmer. I don't think that needed explanation.
Going all the way to, this is where I'm gonna be standing at the line at the fucking DMV, getting my address changed on my license when we move, and I'm just gonna be playing fucking Hearthstone in that goddamn.
No, you're gonna be at a red light or something stupid, and people are gonna be honking at you, but you're like, oh, I gotta do the combo.
Hold on, you don't understand. I just get out of my car and start flailing my arms back and forth.
All the while maintaining a steady grip on your phone.
Yes. While I'm playing spells from my hand with my thumb. Oh man, I can't wait. That'll be fucking great. With this expansion, it looks like there's going to be a bunch of wings that are going to be... It looks like it's going to be pretty much structured the way they had in Axe. They're going to release a new wing every week once they launch it. Each wing is going to be purchasable for either 700 gold in-game or $7 each. That's reasonable. I I can't. I don't know if they've done any announcement on just letting you buy it all at once in bulk. I hope they do something like that again. Because that's what I ended up doing last time. I think it was what, $25, Tim? I think for all of them.
Yeah, if you got it when it came out, it was 25. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it was 30 if memory serves.
Yeah. I think that's the way they did it. So I'm hoping that they do something like that again. I'll gladly throw it on the $25 and jump through it all the way. Because, why not?
Yeah, I'll probably even end up picking it up just because it's not a giant expansion where I don't even know half the cards, even though it's been out for months. It's just something I buy and I have. And
Yeah.
like I said, single player. I really wish Blizzard would put more emphasis on the single player in that game, maybe grind dailies through that. But, fucking pipe dreams, boys. Pipe dreams.
It'll be great. It'll be great. It's the future, Tim. Hearthstone is the future.
Then I am fucking offing myself. That's the way that's gonna be.
Don't even get mad about it, dude.
Take the
It's
katana and
way
just
it
shove
works.
it into my stupid fat stomach while Jose decapitates me. It'll be great.
Jose, how do you feel about this? I feel like you weren't even given an opportunity to say no.
He shrugged a couple times throughout that, and he just got a smile out
I know
of me.
nothing about Hearthstone. I think it's awesome that it exists, and there's as much fervor for it, online as there was for like Magic the Gathering, which is a game I love. But no opinion on Hearthstone really.
Why
I don't
not?
really have much interest in like playing it.
Because he missed the fucking bus. That's all that is.
Is that really what it is?
No,
That's exactly
No.
what it is. Don't you lie to me.
It absolutely isn't. Like all my buddies were on like when it was like coming out. They were like, you got to play this game. You got to play this game. It's like playing Magic again, all over again. Like, nah. Even my sister, who like doesn't really play much video games, she was on Hearthstone like right off the bat, like right on the bat. It was crazy. So yeah, it didn't appeal to me. In my mind, I was like, you could just play Magic the Gathering, or Yu-Gi-Oh, or something. I don't know, Pokemon.
The reason it appealed to me.
If there's a Pokemon online fucking card game, I'll play that shit.
Awesome. You would. You'd be on that in a fucking. You'd be top 10 leaderboards, boys.
The reason
Leaderboards,
it appealed
Jesus,
to
what is
me is
Simpleton.
well, no, fuck you. No. It's,
God, I got him in his soul, boys.
Oh God, he's right. That's why I'm so mad. I loved Magic also. That was like one of my favorite games. And as I've grown older, it's harder and harder to find people who play that game that are in my bracket, and B that don't smell and still live with their mother.
No, yeah, I hate what. I mean, I'm talking about like 4th edition, 4th gen, or maybe up to 5th edition.
I played in like
Because,
the early to mid 90s. I don't even know what.
Like we're
era
talking
that
about the
was.
same cards. I have friends that like really that still play with all the new cards and new expansions and decks, and they've gotten rid of everything I love about fucking overpowered Magic the Gathering cards and made it strictly tournament play all the time. You can't just hang
That's
out.
because that's the only way
Have
that
a fun
you can
match
make
anymore.
money off of it. They had to make it like that. I mean, if they're gonna continue I don't know. I tried to get back into it pretty recently. I went out and I bought like a starter pack and I had a few boosters and wanted to sit in on some like Friday Night Magics, and I showed up to a couple of them. It was all kids, and like I just remember being like sitting there and just being like I just can't. If it was like a group of other people my age, then yeah, dude, I'd be totally in. But I don't know. Maybe it's just because of the local hobby shop, but that I was really excited to jump back into it, and that's one of the reasons.
What's the name of that place in Richmond again? That hobby shop.
Dragon's Den.
Yeah, that must be. It's the big one on right off Main Street, I think.
Oh no!
Or right in
You're
downtown.
talking about Captain Jack's.
Yeah,
Like-
that's it.
Yeah, that place is
Cool
that
place.
place is gnarly. I would go there because they actually have like age sanctioned nights for Magic and stuff. That place is like a 30-minute drive for me. So it's a little out of the way. But when we move, we'll be closer to downtown, so I might actually consider doing that again. But that was one of the reasons Hearthstone appealed to me, was because of the fact that I could just build a deck and play a game very similar to the one that I loved, the one that I grew up with, and didn't have to worry about, sitting in with a bunch of kids or like, driving, even driving anywhere. I could just sit there and play the game and talk to you idiots online while I do it. Like, that's pretty much what I wanted, So I got sucked in like head first. Just absolutely as soon as I started playing. It's so funny too, because I saw it at PAX East a couple years ago when I went, and I shat all over it. I was like, why the fuck is Blizzard making this? Just make Warcraft 4, please. And then it came out, and I started watching it, and I was just like, this game is gonna capture me 100%. And I remember some of my friends called me out on it too. They were like, why are you playing this game? You shat all over it at PAX. Like, they were so nice. I remember walking by the Blizzard booth, and this cute girl came up to me, and she's like, you want to play some Hearthstone? And I was like, fuck you and fuck your game. This looks stupid. And like not quite that abrasively. But...
Oh, I sure. Like, verbatim what you said. What you lie.
But I was just like, no, it looks dumb. Like, I come out with Warcraft 4, and I walked away. And fucking, like, just
probably emotionally scarred.
Words.
She quit her job.
God, I can only hope so. I can only hope so. But yeah, like, I just had no idea that it was gonna suck me in the way it did. And I don't know. Blizzard has a way of doing that. It's not like with Heroes of the Storm though, where I only got sucked into it for a couple week periods at a time. Like, this game is just. And I think part of it's just the fact that you can play it on mobile devices and on the go, so it never really truly leaves. I can just be sitting in bed and can't sleep and just play Hearthstone.
That's the only time and reason I'll ever play it, is because I have it on my Kindle now. And occasionally, like, before I go to bed now, I'll just pop on it for a game or two.
Yeah.
While I, like, watch Twitch or something.
Yeah. But that game is just perfect. It's perfect for mobile devices, and I think they're totally right in releasing it on phones. That's just going to make the community even more rabid, because you'll have so many more people that just are going to play it on the subway or, like, on the bus or something. Like, even if it's just a commute back and forth to work, all of a sudden the player base multiplies, like, by a bunch, of people who are just playing that on their fucking cell phones all the time. So, it'll be gnarly, man. Really looking forward to it. End rant.
All right, well, with that, I do believe we're done for today. And this week, too. I think we're going to start doing a two-a-week thing. Maybe a bit longer, I don't know. Still need to actually talk to these guys about that. But, yeah, this was our sixth cast? Eighth?
Ninth, maybe?
Nah, he's just fucking with me at this point.
Have we
Just
done that
fucking with
many?
me.
I know the first three are up somewhere, not on Twitch.
This is our sixth
So this
cast.
is actually the fourth, then, is what you're saying.
The sixth. We're having so much
There's
fucking
Plus
fun,
three
boys.
somewhere
Oh,
in the
man.
ether.
Do we get any chat interaction? Nothing at all?
No, not so much tonight.
Oh, bummer. Bummer!
At times Twitch chat can be cancerous, but, at times it's fun to interact with people. But yeah, that's it. We're done. We hope you have a good night. Any final thoughts, boys?
Nope, that's about it.
Atlas is coming out with an awesome strategy tactical RPG in the same vein of Valkyrie Crusade, Valkyrie
Chronicles, wasn't it? Valkyrie?
Chronicles. It's like XCOM. It's
With shitty anime.
aliens versus humans, but anime.
So it's gonna be
So
up.
look forward to that.
Keep your eyes peeled for that one. That'll,
That's end call. End information. Know nothing more about it.
Oh, man.
We hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you later.
Hold on. The top
No,
the top comment on this Hearthstone article is Shaman Lava Ding Dong, all hyphenated. I'll leave y'all with that then to think about. Take care, everybody. This is the Dark Mushroom Media Cast signing off. Fuck you.